Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 15 of me making YouTube videos and doing a gratitude list. So I'm excited about that. I made it 2 whole weeks, day 15. I've just been doing a lot of self-discovery, learning things about myself as I'm focusing on myself and focusing on things to be grateful for and trying to figure out why I avoid doing things in my life and learning how to trust myself, how to get to know myself, how to trust God and His plan for me and my life, and to trust that His plan is better and greater than mine. And today I was doing some reading in my scriptures, and I came across some scriptures that was talking about weaknesses being turned into strengths, and that God gives us weaknesses so that we'll humble ourselves and come to Him, and then He can help turn our weaknesses into strengths. But in doing that, we remember that He's the one that got us there, that we did it with His help, that we're not meant to be here to do it ourselves, and we're meant to get help and support from other people. So I kind of reminded me that I'm not on this journey alone, and that I'm doing this to get closer to my Savior, to my Father in heaven, to have a better spiritual relationship with them and to get to know myself better. It's also allowing myself to be vulnerable, to let other people see me, get to know me, and maybe get to know the Savior through me. I don't know. It's also been teaching me today that I was thinking about it and writing about it. I'm like, I have these grandiose ideas. I'm like, I see things in the world that I like, that I want. I think about writing my books and I think, oh, I want to get my book published. I want to get it turned into a movie. I'm going to be like this famous person. And then reality kicks in and I'm like, well, I haven't finished the book. I don't know when I'm going to finish the book. I don't know if anybody's going to like it. And then I think that's the complete opposite, actually, two sides of the spectrum. And it will probably end up being somewhere in the middle, which, is what most authors deal with. It's like not going to make a bunch of money off of it, but might get it out there just to publish it, just because it's my story. Reminding myself that my story is different than someone else. I have a friend that keeps saying he writes music because no one else is doing it. And he's like, just like I have to write my books because no one else is doing it. So there's kind of like a void that needs to be filled. And I think it's been left for me. That's my gift from God to give to the world. And it's just going to stay empty if I don't fill it, which is kind of an interesting thought, that I'm like, there is a purpose to my life. There is a void that needs to be filled. There is something that I am supposed to do. And maybe each of you that's watching this knows that there's something, or feels like there's something that you're missing, or something that you're supposed to be doing. And if you're anything like me, you're fighting it. I fight it. I'll be honest. I'm just like, I'm excited about the idea of getting my book published, but I'm scared because I still put too much emphasis on what the world will think, what other people will think, instead of on what God thinks and what I think. And I am slowly learning, slowly internalizing, because learning in my head and spitting out what people, rhetoric, what people say, what I've learned, I'm like, okay, that makes sense, that sounds cool, but until I actually feel it, I don't actually do anything with it. So this is a challenge for me, but I think I'm coming to learn and to understand that God has a greater purpose for me, and that there is a purpose to my life, for one, that I have value, and that I need to do this for me and not for the rest of the world, not for the people that are watching this video. It's like that I matter YouTube video that I made. I'm like, wait, I do matter. This is important. This is necessary. This is necessary for my growth. And it made me think of the Savior and the 99 sheep. And if the 100 sheep, and if one was missing, He would go after the one that was missing. And then I thought, well, what if I'm the one? If I'm the only one that this helps, if I'm the only one that this saves, then I'm going after the one. And if it saves a bunch of other people, helps a bunch of other people, if other people find this helpful, then great. But this is just my journey. This is my experience. And I realize that I can't do this alone, that I need help and support. And I appreciate the support of friends and family, the people that are encouraging me to write my books, that people that are watching my YouTube videos, the people that are like, hey, we're so glad you're doing this, all the little likes and stuff that I get from people. So it helps me kind of validate myself that, hey, I'm doing a good job. I'm putting myself out there. But I'm learning that that my voice that what I tell myself is the most important voice. It's the voice that matters. Because if I continue to tell myself that I'm not good enough, that people aren't watching this, that there's no point to what I'm doing, then that's the voice I'm going to listen to. But if I remind myself, or I tell myself that I'm doing this for me, this is an opportunity for growth, this is an opportunity to get to know myself, this is an opportunity to overcome a lot of fears, this is an opportunity to put my past behind me, to let go of past thoughts, emotions, feelings, hurts, all of those things, to believe that, okay, maybe I didn't get the attention, or maybe I didn't have the childhood I wanted. I can't go back. I can't change it. I can't undo it. And, maybe it's not as horrible as I make it out to be, because obviously I just focus on the negative. But there's, positive things to look at, positive things to remember, good things to remember. And that if nothing else, all of those things that have happened in my life have gotten me to this point, whatever this point is. But it's a point where I'm trying to make a change, changing my thought process, changing how I think, focusing on positive things, focusing on being grateful, seeing other people in the world that are grateful and happy all the time. I'm like, I want that. But it doesn't mean that they have worldly success. It doesn't mean that, they don't have trials or struggles or problems. It means that they know themselves, that they're happy with their life and the choices they're making, that they have a solid relationship with their higher power, with their Father in heaven, that, they understand their purpose in life and who they are. And I want that. I want to be that confident. I want to be that happy. I want to be willing to put my books out there and myself out there and do it because I feel like I have something to offer, because I feel like I have talent, because I believe in myself and I believe in what I'm doing, and then put it out there and hope that other people accept it and like it. And, if they do, great, then my books will sell, then people will watch my videos. And if they don't, it's okay, because I still believe in myself, and it's still a way for me to say I did this and I accomplished this and I finally followed through on something, because I always have a tendency to stop short of finishing a project, and I get all these ideas and then I just stop and I don't follow through because I'm afraid of the outcome. And it might even be a good outcome, but I'm still afraid of it because I don't know how to respond to it. I don't know what to do with healthy and happy, because I haven't focused on healthy and happy. I was going to say because I haven't had that in my life, but that's not true. I've had moments of happiness. I've had moments of clarity. I've had times in my life where I felt like I was, one with the Savior and everything in the world was going fantastic. And I've lost that, I've lost my focus, and my focus has been too much on outside things making me whole instead of turning to the Lord to make me whole. And I I need to remember that. I need to remember that that's the only way to feel whole and to feel happy, is to let God in my life, to let Him guide me, to help me through all of this, to believe in myself, to get to know myself, to love myself, and then I can love other people. And I'm grateful that I'm learning all of these things. I'm grateful that I can share all these things that I'm learning. And I hope that what I'm learning and sharing is helping other people, or it's setting an example for other people. So if there's something you're struggling with, I hope this is giving you courage to try to work through whatever you're struggling with, because for me, I like going to 12-step meetings and to church and reading scriptures and meditationals, because it helps me see other people that have gone through difficult times, and to read about what other people have been willing to share and how that's helped me. And then, it's kind of a nice thought that maybe something I'm saying or something I'm doing might help or inspire someone else. And maybe it won't reach anybody until after I'm dead, but I have no idea. Or maybe it'll touch a lot of lives, or maybe it'll only touch one or two lives, but those one or two people will touch a bunch of other people that I will never know about. And that's okay too. I think it's the same when we smile at people. We walk by and smile or say, have a nice day or something to a complete stranger. I had no idea how that smile affected them, but it makes me feel good to smile. It makes me feel good to nod and recognize other people. And I love getting to know other people and hearing about them. And it's like, I need to get to know myself and be as excited about getting to know me and what I have to offer and accepting that what I have is good enough. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nothing is perfect. And I've even been told that the imperfections are what makes it unique and makes it wonderful, because I've given stuff that I've made to other people and I point out the imperfection. They're like, oh no, I love it. I'm so glad that that's there, because it makes it so special and personal and unique. And it means that there's not another one out there like it. So, and I think I heard once, I don't want to misquote or upset anybody, but I think I heard once that Native Americans, when they make rugs or quilts or something, that they intentionally put an imperfection in it. Like, that's I don't remember why they do that, so I shouldn't be quoting that, I'm sorry. But I just remember hearing that they intentionally put it in there, kind of like a sign of humility, or that they got the talent from their higher power, whatever. But they, but also that they don't have to be perfect, that nobody's perfect, that reminder that nobody's perfect. And I like that reminder. I need that reminder, because I don't have to put on a front of being this perfect person. I'm not a perfect person. So obviously you can tell that by my videos, especially since I still don't like watching myself. So I was like thinking about that before I started this video, and I'm like, I focus on how many people may or may not be watching my videos, and I'm like, wait, I don't even want to watch my videos. Why would anybody else want to watch my videos? And yet some people watch my videos, which is great. I love that. I also know that from research on YouTube that sometimes it takes over a year for people to go back and view your videos to get like a whole bunch, because it takes time for stuff to get passed on, to share, for other people to read or watch or whatever. And maybe someday I'll become a famous YouTuber. Maybe I will never be a famous YouTuber. And you know what? That's okay, because I'm not doing this for the fame or the fortune. Granted, I think at one point a part of me wanted to do that. A part of me would still like that. Like, I wouldn't say no to that. But that's not my sole purpose. And if that's my sole purpose, then it's kind of pointless, because focusing on temporal things and money and fame, those are things that are fleeting, that don't last, that don't have guarantees, and they don't bring true friendships, and they don't bring true relationships. So I want, and I am grateful for true friendships and true relationships. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to get to know myself and to stretch myself by doing these videos, to become a little bit more confident, to recognize the gifts that I have, and to realize that there's a void out there that I can fill with my talents. And it's just waiting for me to share what I have. And I'm just missing opportunities by not following through on what I said I was going to do. So this is me following through for 15 days. I made it for 15 days. That makes me very happy. And I was talking to my sister today, and I was talking to her about my stubborn personality, because I'm very stubborn. I have this stubborn streak in me. I've been told that my whole life. I know that. I don't doubt that. I know I do that. But usually when I get really stubborn, I get really stupid, and I stop listening to people, and I dig my heels, and I'm like, I'm not going to do it, because somebody else is telling me to. And I was talking to my sister today, and I was telling her, I'm like, hey, I'm using this as like my stubbornness to actually, I'm going to follow through, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to finish this. If it kills me, I'm going to make 100 YouTube videos in 100 days. I'm going to do it. And I've been writing in my journal every day and making my own little gratitude list too. I'm like, I'm going to do it. If it kills me, I'm going to do it. Big old smile on my face, but I'm going to do it. Not always smiling, I promise. I get nervous, I get excited. And so, but it occurred to me that I'm using that stubbornness instead of a negative way, instead of being stupid, instead of blocking out what everybody's saying, to be open to the promptings of the Spirit, to be open to listening to that inner voice that's telling me what I need to do, that's encouraging me to better myself, to follow through on my goals. So even when I'm tired, when I don't want to, when it's like, oh, it means I have to change, it means I have to do something, and I'm not in the mood, and it's like, doesn't matter, do it anyway. And I realized that stubbornness is turning into determination. So it's taking a quality that I have, and instead of using it negatively, I'm using it positively. So an attribute of mine is changing from negative to positive. It's working. Instead of holding me back, it is benefiting me. It's, instead of it being towards my detriment, it's being towards my progression. And I really like that. I can see that I can see the change, that it doesn't mean that being stubborn is a bad thing. I just need to use it towards positive things, towards accomplishing goals, to following through, and then it becomes determination. So then I have a stubborn determination instead of a stupid stubbornness that's going to keep me from listening to other people because they told me to do something, and I'm like, I'm just going to dig my heels in and not do it because I don't want to be controlled and I don't want people to tell me what to do, so I don't care. But no, I've done that. I've been there. I've done that. And I still do that. I have to be honest. I do. And I still fight. I still, lay in my bed and I'm like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. And then all these thoughts, I'm like, oh, but you get to do your YouTube video. You get to read your scriptures. You get to write. You get to go to work. I'm like, I don't want to know any of those things today. But then it's the reminder that I feel better when I do that. And when I focus on the gratitude, I can do that. And it's that thought that I had yesterday, that someone at the meeting I went to yesterday shared, that you can't think your way into better living. You have to live your way into better thinking. And to me, that just means that I have to take the actions. Because I've thought about all the stuff I want to do, and I've got like a whole fantasy in my head of how my life is going to be. But my life will never be that if I never take any of those actions. And that's the reality. The reality is the only way for my life to be different than it is for me to take action to change my life. And it has to be an action. I have to follow through on what I say I'm going to do. I have to take better care of myself, eat better, exercise, sleep, find a regular schedule. That would be nice. I still haven't figured that one out, but baby steps. I'm also reminded baby steps and one day at a time, and that what I'm doing today is good enough. And good enough is enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the best. It's the best I can do today. And I don't know if it's the best I can do today or not, but I'm doing it today. And today I'm grateful that I'm doing it. And I like that. I do. I like that I'm learning about myself. I like that I can be grateful about things. I like that I know I'm stubborn, but I'm grateful that stubbornness is turning into determination, and it's helping me to achieve my goals instead of preventing me from following through on things. So this is a good thing for me. I'm still a work in progress. I will be a work in progress for the rest of my life, I'm sure. I might feel like I'm a little further in the process, maybe when I get through with this. And what is that, 85 days? Okay, gotta stop thinking about how many days left, because right now there's way more days left to go than there are days that I'm starting. And so, but I think I hope at some point, the struggle will not be as difficult, that it will just be, the norm, that every day this will be a piece of cake, that I can do this, and I will just be grateful that I can do this. And I hope that after 100 days of gratitude, that I will continue and do another 100 days of gratitude, or maybe the rest of my life focused on gratitude, that maybe it will change my thinking and my focus, and that I won't be so affected by the negative, because I still believe you find what you look for. So if you look for the negative, you look for the bad things, the woe is me, you're always going to find it. But if you look for the positive, the happy things, the things that are going right, the blessings, it's like, oh my gosh, they're there. And sometimes the very things that I'm complaining about are the very things that are gifts and blessings to me. And I just need to change my perspective to see that. And I'm grateful that this is helping me to do that, along with my journaling. That helps immensely for me. I think that's how the Lord talks to me and helps me, because I start writing about this and I'm like, I'm all upset about this. I'm like, oh, we're only upset about this because of this thing or this thing. Or it's like, oh, put myself in somebody else's shoes and realize, oh, maybe this wasn't as bad as I thought it was, and this, because this happened, and this is actually a really good thing that happened. And the next thing you know, I'm writing my gratitude list, and I was like, I'm in a much better mood now because I wrote in my journal. Sometimes I think I should do it at the beginning of the day instead of the end of the day, but I do it at the end of the day because it helps me process everything that happened during the day, and it allows me to turn my brain off so I can sleep at night. If I do it in the morning, that's great, but it doesn't mean that I was able to sleep most of the night, because then I'm thinking about all that stuff playing in my head. So that is something else I need to learn, how to turn my brain off, because when I have a list of things to do that I haven't done, I don't sleep. And then I just stay up because I don't want to do it. Then I just watch TV and play games, and then nothing gets done until I'm too tired to stay awake because I don't want to think about it. When in reality, if I just did what I was supposed to do, I could have gone to bed and I would have slept so much better. So also learning about myself that I just need to do things, because clearly I can't let them go until they're done. So this is done for today, so I can let it go. Yay! Until tomorrow, but tomorrow's another day. Anyway, I'm grateful for the people that are watching and following. If you like this, if it's helping, go ahead, like, subscribe, share, whatever it is you want to do. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude and that you can see all of the joy and blessings in your life. Thank you.